Everybody, welcome to another Whiskey Mystery. I'm Phil.
I'm Diva.
And what will Whiskey Tube be delivering to us today? Ah, yes. Only 42 left. They're ticking down pretty fast. This is number 264, picked by Whiskey Finn. What terrible writing. Whiskey Finn? Are you in, Whiskey Finn? Who's in? See Jimmy Jazz, Whiskey Vault, Tim. Oh, well, the Jake18. Guessing already. That's funny. Pete Head, David Owen, Michael Wood, Yuri. I don't see Whiskey Finn yet. I'm sure he will appear shortly. Now, what are we doing? Of course, we are going to be blind tasting again. We are working our way through the final 42 bottles on our journey to blind taste over 300 whiskies, which has been going on for getting closer to 4 years and 3 years now. As part of that, we like to check the viscosity of the whiskey. So let's get the timer going. And it's always compared to 40% vodka. The average is 107% for whiskey. Been pretty right in the middle. The highest one was 121. In fact, the top three are all heavily sherried whiskies. And the highest one was Craig Ellicky that we called Leaf Litter Syrup at 121%. Of course, heavily sherried, maybe there was quite a lot of sherry left in the barrel. Maybe that's what's helping the viscosity. Some actual sugar. Train Tower's in, Yash. Who else has arrived? Alpha Crown, Whiskey Vault. The Springbank 21 looks silver, like the new 21. Almost thought you'd sneaked it over. Yes, well, I have to admit, I've had to tilt it because it grabs so much light. So yeah, we ended up with the Springbank 21 here. Let's talk about it a little bit, because half of it is fantastic whiskey.
It's very impressive.
And the second half of it, not so fantastic.
But it's not unpleasant.
Not unpleasant, of course not. But overall, it's actually a higher level whiskey than we have placed it.
The finish.
Except the problem I would have is every time I would drink it, I would be reminded of how much better it could be if the second half was better. And so it would always kind of annoy me because the first half is so good. So in the end, we kind of decided we would rather have Arran 14, which is good throughout at a lower level than the high point of the Springbank 21, followed by the disappointment. Does that make sense? Whiskey Vault, that Springbank. Oh yeah, that's right. We just did that one. Food Quig. Where are you? Andy, you're on vacation. Hope you're somewhere nice. Right. 4. Wow. The viscometer's already halfway down. For the next, what am I looking for? The timer button for the next 12 minutes. We are going to nose it, taste it. Oh, Deepa's lost her subtitles. Show everyone what you're doing.
Oh.
You know Deepa's deaf. A few people may not know Deepa's deaf. Anyway, so we have, there we go. So we have live captioning so that Deepa can catch what I'm saying, looking forward so she doesn't have to lip read all the time. Right. Let's pour it and see what we're going to get. I'm going to try and keep an eye on the viscometer. It's almost done already. Well, it's a dark one, certainly dark. The bubbles are not hanging around too much, right? Let's do a little shake test. Well, they're actually pretty good. Could it be 48? Possible, isn't it? Could be 48, looking at that. Could it be 50? I'm watching the viscometer. Let's see, viscometer is going to come down to 330. Oh, yeah, got to go a little further. 339. Okay. 107% actually. That's what it works out at. So it's absolutely average. Don't think it's 50%. Now, we do have, let me go back to the shaker. 46%. It definitely looks like it's better, meaning it looks like it's higher ABV than 46. But let me just throw in something. This is a Balvenie 43%. And you can see that that actually has good bubbles as well. Now, Tim, Donna Pass, are you in? Did I say hello to Tim? Tim actually pointed out that he noticed that last week in the comments, I think, Tim, you said that Nika Yoichi has very good bubbles for a 45% whiskey, if you can see them through the glass. And they are very good. They actually look more like 48 or 50. So we know that the bubbles are not 100% accurate. I can tell you from our tasting yesterday, it didn't seem...
I thought you were it was your taste before we started.
Yeah, we're going to try a couple of other before we get started. But first, yesterday's glass. Rich sherry dust, kind of almost caramel treacly dust.
And vanilla, I swear that's a vanilla.
Hey, Falsgraf. I think there is a tiny bit of peat left over in that. Now, okay, much richer. It's got to be a bit peaty, right? Now, normally for us, this freshly emptied glass, as the alcohol evaporates off, it will actually reveal, the peat a little better. And the little bit on my hand actually is probably going to do it as well. Yeah, so this is a little charcoal, tobacco-y charcoal.
The orange caramel.
Orange caramel. Oh, see the alcohol vapor does seem quite strong. Hey, Gigi.
There's a big apple.
The peat, if it's there, is not that obvious, is it? Let's see.
Yeah, it's more sweet smoke. It's not ashy, but there is that smoke.
Yeah, there's something there. Now, let's go over the other notes.
That's after burnt.
That'll come later. Sweet cigar, though, you've written. Orange, caramel, tobacco. So it's starting to come out. It's a little more malty now, actually. I'm starting to get a little bit of the shortbread Weetabix.
Oh, there's some star anise.
Star anise. It's going to develop, I think. That's what happened yesterday. We came back to the glass later, and it was surprising how much peatier it had become.
The colour is very, very orange amber colour.
That's true. The colour has a touch of grey about the colour mixed in with that sherry. Could be fake colour, of course.
It's fake to me.
It's got a bit of an orange. It's got a bit of a fake tan about it.
It's very saturated.
Can you see? Not really. Okay.
It smells old-fashioned.
There's quite a lot of powerful flavours or aromas coming out of the glass, I have to say. It's quite dense, isn't it?
Very sugary, caramelized, sherry.
A touch of plasticine, which makes me think there's some peat there. Now, I do want to compare it to some unpeated whiskey, and I'm not sure if we should taste this first. Or let's just do one, because there's one that's quite delicate, 43%. Let's have a sip on this just as a baseline so we can go better or worse on our first reaction. Don't normally do it this way round, but I wanted to today.
It's whatever of tan that is so good in the ass. It's very balanced.
Don't give any notes on the wrong whiskey. Now, I can tell you that was 43%. So let's go and see, because I thought it was quite light yesterday. Is the marmalade Michael Wood? Not quite for me. Yeah.
It is much later than that 43. However, the emo at 42 is that is 43.
Wow, it does taste lighter.
Mm.
But then,
Maybe 40.
wow, hang on. Are we going back to bubbles for a second? But if it was 40,
So that's quality.
could it be as low as 40? Quite spicy at the finish.
Oh, yes. And
Better or worse than the first
I
one?
prefer that one.
Oh, that was all Pulteney 12. That's interesting.
Because it's sort of a bit flat.
Okay, let's get into notes. Let's get into proper notes now. This is definitely becoming ashy now.
But it's on the sweet side.
Sweet
They're
ash.
not herb or savoury.
Let's go again.
It's sugar, caramel, and sherry.
Oh, it's
One diluted, weak.
it's super under control though, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
The balance is actually really good, because when I think it's finished, I get another little surprise, because I started talking thinking that the experience was over, but as I'm talking, there's a very nice like heat with the little prickly pepper and the ashiness towards the end.
But it does not have a fine taste of flavours. Got like the split bats when you want. It's just
It doesn't,
a bit blurry.
a bit blurry. I mean, the painting doesn't have fine detail either. Just that little sprinkle of pepper maybe towards the end. I've kind of painted in purplish peat there. Falsgraf, it couldn't be as low as 40, judging by the list. Are there none left? That's a good point. Do we have any 40s left? No. There are no 40s on the list.
No, oh. Then, what's the next one? 43.
Hang on a minute. Yes. 40, just 43. That's right, because Dalmore was the last 40. So, I have to admit, I quite like it.
The finish is a touch of anise, sweet cigar.
It's a little hollow in the middle. The arrival has the nice rich sweetness, and there is detail in there, but like on an old whiskey, like Highland Park 21, it would develop into all of these like magical details. There's no magic in this one, is there?
It's very conservative,
Conservative,
very calm.
but it is long, which still makes me think it's old.
Yes.
Okay, let's
the
do-
finish. The finish is a touch of licorice.
Better or worse? Now, this is unpeated, so it might be slightly odd going back to it.
I still prefer the first one, Old Patini. It's almost the same. Even a preference.
I think the finish on today's is better. This
I
goes
think it's better that it because
right.
it's darker, more
Yeah. Do you think
power.
this is older or this one's older? This is Yamazaki 12. So that means it is getting on the shelf. I do have a couple more to try. Something that is lightly peated. 43%er.
I like that.
That's really good.
It's very intriguing. It is.
I think I like this better, but what do you think? Oh yeah, I did put the picture up.
I think it make it more blurry, more flat.
It is flatter coming back, isn't it?
This.
And so the one you prefer is Hackshoe 12. So we've been pretty consistent, actually. You've preferred Hakushu, then Old Pulteney, today's, and then Yamazaki. So I think that pretty much pins it to the very last spot on the shelf. But I have got one more comparison, and I know the time is up. I heard it.
But if you take it back itself with no comparative, that is wonderful.
Okay, last chance. Taste this, then this, and then time is over. It's very, very pleasant without being magical. And what did we call it? We called it slow and steady. It's... Having said that, like if I gave this to my dad, who's a Bell's whiskey drinker, he would think there's way too much going on in this between the sherry and the peat. Right, this one. What was it again? Oh yeah.
This is more. God, I prefer this. Slightly better.
Yeah, slightly better. This is not on the shelf. Do you prefer this over Yamazaki or Old Pulteney or Hakushu?
I prefer Old Pulteney Smith.
Yeah. Okay. So this is Lagavulin.
Oh, I'm shocked. I normally like it.
Distiller's Edition, 43%. And this one is from 2017. They're a very similar experience. The sherry and the peat levels seem to be quite close. Maybe this is slightly lower. Right.
Oh, now I pick up ashy.
Yeah, the finish on that Lagavulin. One more taste. Oh.
It's wonderful.
After the Lagavulin, coming back to this, it had a slightly more Talisker-like Parma Violet, slightly Parma Violet candy about it.
Is okay.
We've seen the spreadsheet, have we? Let's bring it up again. What can it be? It could be this Macallan. Could be Highland Park, maybe. Oh, wow. There's a lot of things in this box. It could be Bowmore 18. Is it possible it's the Lime Burners? I'm looking at the 43%ers. Lejake 18, but it would need to be 46%. Same goes for Loch Lomond 18 at 46%. Anok, I don't think that's peated, is it? That would also be 46%. No. Okay. We're ruling out...
43.
I think these are all 43.
Thick colour.
Which are fake colour? I don't really know. I think the Bowmore... Probably not any of these.
The anchor for this.
Too much peat for Macallan, don't you think?
I put that made me more spicy.
I don't think there's any peat in this. I think there's too much peat for Highland Park. Could it be? Highland Park?
I probably expect more out of it.
I think it's too sour bitter for Highland Park in a nice way. Little Parma Violet.
But it's better.
More orange peel, orange rind in the Highland Park.
I also got get orange.
What's it?
No.
Lots of little bottles in here. If it's Bowmore, I have to say Whisky 101 at the end of last week's episode in the comments said, it's Bowmore 18, move on, or something like that. Are you in Whisky 101? I will go Paul John Bold. Just because... Oh, I see, you're changing. We have to cover the list, and it never tastes like 46% to me. Paul John Bold. You know, I don't have the original bottle. That's true.
There was so much bubble.
I'm looking at the colour because I can see it from here. I think this is darker. Right, over to the chat while we find out what everyone's thinking. And then we'll get to the reveal. Peathead is also on the Bowmore. Whisky 101. I'm still giving you credit if it isn't. Isn't Bowmore peatier than Highland Park? Yes. Bowmore, what's the peat level of Bowmore?
35, I think.
35 ppm. That's not too far under Ardbeg, but of course we know that things change depending on the still. I would be baffled if Bowmore bubbles that much at 43 and heavily chill filtered. That's a good point, Whiskey Vault. We're about to find out. We are about to find out. Okay, the amount of peat, don't know, saying it 25 ppm for Bowmore. Okay, so it's sort of at the lower end.
Oh, it's 25.
Anyway. Yeah, Whisky 101, you called it out. Let's see. I have a fear. I don't think you influenced us, but it was in my head once I started tasting. Are we ready? Is there anything else we're supposed to compare to? Don't think so. So are we saying...
I'm at 84 and...
I've got a story after we reveal. So we're saying it's just barely on the shelf.
That's sad, because I remember these.
Just to be clear, Lagavulin 11 Offerman is no longer on the
Oh,
shelf.
no, but I had to find to get that again.
You want to try it now? Okay, we're not ready for the reveal.
Because I really like this. Very nice. Finish.
Off you go. This is where our shelf recency bias comes in, isn't it?
I go for that first.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Well, anyway, we're saying for now it's going to be the last place on the shelf.
But it's a better balance. Very, very balanced. Wow.
There's a guilty story that comes with this bottle. Are we ready? Oh, hang on, this was from the original 24. Let's find out what it is first.
But it's...
Ready for the reveal? Ready for the reveal. Here we go. ABV is 43. Okay, we're safe. The age is 18 years old. $109. And it is from, I think that says Bowmore. Let's just 100% check. Yes. Bowmore, 18. The streak continues. I think we've got about 5 or 6 in a row now. Whisky 101. Oh, that's for you as well.
So, I've got more stuff to come.
So let me tell the guilty story.
Yeah, that was a beautiful story. If you get sort of flashback of the video.
I don't even know if you know what story I'm going to tell. You tell the story then.
But the first 24 practice.
What's the guilty part of the story?
That it was the top 3.
No. Deepa doesn't know what story I'm going to tell. We bought this in October 2018. We bought it at Costco at a time where we literally had a discussion about there's no way we're ever going to pay more than this for a bottle of whiskey.
For how much?
$109. Brora. Now.
How much?
109. Now, I think this is somewhere around 140 now. The Yamazaki 120, the old Pulteney, the new version, we didn't like it though, did we? Glen Scotia, Hackshoe, 120-ish. It's probably not that bad a price. The guilty part of the story is we bought it from Costco along with 2 other bottles, which I forget what they were. We came home, and when I looked at the receipt, Costco had not charged us for the Bowmore. And I phoned them up and said, can I pay for this bottle of Bowmore because you've missed it over the phone? You know, I had my credit card. And they said, well, thanks for being so honest, but we can't take a payment over the phone. If you would like to come back to the store and bring the bottle in, we can redo it. And I must admit, I never went back with the bottle. So I'd like to thank Costco for sponsoring this episode of Bowmore 18.
You just say.
And I don't know if it's been shared or not, because this was the original 24 video, which started the whole whiskey escapades on our channel. And it did come in 3rd place. 2nd place was Glendronach 12. And 1st place was Talisker Distiller's Edition.
What year was that?
Forgotten. Probably the 2017. I've realised there's a whole bunch of little Bowmores to try here. And one is especially interesting. Hang on. Is this from Sean? This is a 12-year 80s Bowmore. Okay, what do you want to say? That's this one, but it's much stronger.
It's dependent. I remember.
80s Bowmore has a reputation for being...
So what's the difference with this?
This is 12-year-old, 43% Bowmore, but from the 1980s. So... Oh, that is completely different. This is much more vegetal, and it immediately reminded me of that independent bottle of Jura that we have. Or like Glengarry was a bit like this as well.
Witchcraft herbs.
Witchcraft herbs. Witchcraft herbs. I had no idea Deepa was into witchcraft.
It's very, very sherry. It's the opposite.
Not sherry?
It's just weak.
Oh.
It's more of our profile. Very versatile. I like that.
This is quite perfumed as well, isn't it?
No, I didn't pick up.
I got a full burst of kind of flowery perfume along with... hang on. I'll have one more sip because then you'll finish it.
I was rather first.
Okay. Delicate. A little bit of rose water.
The sugar, you get it up, but it's what you focus. It's very savoury. I like savoury.
Parma violets. Yeah, finish it. Very little obvious peat. Very long finish. That is very unusual.
It's actually thin, I swear. But it is not overpowered. That sherry. That is why I like it.
This is simpler, isn't it? By comparison. It's sweet and peat by comparison to all the weirdness of this one.
Today's is very mainstream approach.
Very mainstream, yes. I would agree with that. Let's go to the chat. See what people are saying.
But you must, it's amazing. But our top third, even with the bottom and 4 years.
Hey, I would say it was the top 3 at that time. But Distiller's Edition, I think it's in the perfect place. We are saying everything else is... Hang on, no. Old Pulteney was much further down the list, wasn't it? Because Old Pulteney is from the original 24 as well. I don't think anything else is. That's true.
I prefer Old Pulteney Smith.
That's what I'm saying. So it has... So that reflects more of our appreciation of more of an ex-bourbon subtle detail whiskey, I think. Let me see. Whiskey 101. Indeed. Last week I said Bowmore 18 based on your reactions. Yes. There we go. Okay, I've gone back up a little too high. Whiskey Vault. We've all been there. Oh no, I don't know what that's reacting to, Whiskey Vault. Is that your longest streak yet? Yes, Yash. Of course, it's getting easier now that we don't have 200 bottles on the list. I've been afraid to try Bowmore 18, National Parks Artist. My favourite Scotch ever, Bowmore 18 Vintner's Trilogy, which is cask strength. Oh, I bet that's good. So I worried the regular 18 will seem so much weaker. I'd only be let down. Well, that's probably true, but is it so much less expensive. I think if you drink it on its own and you don't go stronger.
It's different.
Well, at that price, free, I might be persuaded to get a second bottle. Yes, Dave. Whiskey 101. So funny. That's the first one I've picked ever based on no notes, but only Deepa's face. Which kind of said, having said that, we did drink it following the Springbank 21 and a lot of other very nice whiskies last week.
It's only on its own, no different any other whiskey.
Don't compare to others. I think it's still holding up pretty darn well. Precarious Dave saying stick with the independent bottle, Bowmore's. Yes. National Parks artist. I've also the 26-year-old from Vintner's Trilogy, which is wonderful. It does sound good. Incredibly low. Oh, you got them at low prices, but not free. Yes. Is 80s Bowmore meant? Yes, the dumpy bottle. That's what it is. Alpha Crown. You're right. Very unusual. I think that's quite an expensive bottle now. It's about $400 at the auction or something.
But it's not dumpy.
No, the one from Sean.
Oh.
It's the little fat, the dumpy bottle. Yes. 80s Bowmore was good. Hopefully no old bottle effect. Don't know enough to recognise it. False graph. Richard Jones. Saw a special 60-year-old online earlier. Yeah, don't look at the price. That would be a mistake. Who else got it today? Petehead. Did you get it as well? Petehead. Deepest desperate to get to more whiskey, but I'm trying to get through the comments.
No, I don't mean that.
Only because there's other things to try that are lower ABV.
Sir.
So, just hold on. Hold on. Of course it's on the shelf. This is so you can knock it off next week, Michael. That is probably Lavender Whiskey Vault. Yes, lavender. Parma Violet Lavender. That's that Bowmore 80s thing, isn't it? I hear people talking about. Probably right. If it's 80s bottling, so it must be 70s or late 60s distillate at 12 years old. Yes, that makes sense. That would be an Indian cliche. Witchcraft. The Tempest Batch 6 is the best Bowmore I've had. Hang on. Bowmore 10 Devil's Cask. Deep and Complex PX. An SMWS Classic Smoky Perfume Dram. No. I thought we might have had Tempest. I thought we did at one point. Donna Pass. At work, so just drop in to say hi. Tim, we did check out your comment about the Yoichi bubbles, and you're right. They're very good for 45%. Okay, catching up at the bottom. Whiskey 101. Frank Petehead got it first in the chat tonight. So Frank's pick and fireworks for Frank. 60k UK? What's that for? Right. Petehead, why don't you have a selection? Top shelf, middle shelf, bottom shelf.
Back or front?
Front row, middle row, back row, if you want to be very specific.
The third. 1, 2, 3.
In the meantime, let me try. I'll go up in ABV.
This Russian.
Bowmore 18 Deep and Complex PX and Oloroso 43%. This is from Mike Lee. Cheers, Mike.
I think it's a bit darker than today. It's exactly the same. It's that amplifying, just sweeter.
Yeah, the PX.
The same.
I think I preferred today.
I prefer today.
Right, next.
Because today is more calm.
Everything else is strong. 53. Okay, this what's remaining here is 16-year-old Bowmore.
From 3 years ago.
Yeah, independent bottle, 53%, and I think this is Ex-Bourbon.
I remember I tried it 3 years ago. I like it very much, but I'm not sure for 3 years.
This was an independent bottle with a wanted poster on the label. I'd have to look up again. It'll be in the oh, is that good? It'll be in the blind results spreadsheet.
It's really good. It's better than today. But it's savory. It's non-sherry.
No. See, we're going much more in ex-bourbon.
Better.
I was going to go, we're going tropical with peat, which I just think is a nicer combination.
But it does not have the steadiness.
It's not slow and steady. This is also ex-bourbon. Bowmore 10, Devil's Cask, batch 2. 56.3.
Maybe old, maybe a few years.
This is from Louis.
It's very dark.
It's only 10 It's only 10 years old though.
It is so dark.
What makes it the Devil's Cask?
It's very soft. It's almost American bourbon. But
that's more like Bunnahabhain full sherry, isn't it? Much more sherry, much less peat.
I prefer today's. I prefer the first, the second.
Let's go back to today's after 56%. Let's see what 43% tastes like. As you would expect, very light. I have to say, I didn't think.
It does.
It does.
It's good.
I didn't think this would impress us 3-4 years later as much as it has today.
It's actually very good. At the more I can feel it.
But at $140, it doesn't have the special magic of an old bottle. Yeah. What else would we buy at 140? Wow, there's not much on our shelf, is there? The Glendronach 15, I think is probably better.
There's nothing iron.
Right.
It's about 40.
It's going to be down there. Back to the chat. Let's see. Middle shelf, left, front. I think Peter. Middle shelf. Hang on, which way's left? Left, front. Okay, this one. How about this one? This is going to be bottle number 265. That is a lot of whiskey.
But never will it be the ash butter?
I don't know. You can add it up. We've got 42 more to go, so it'll be over 300, 307. I'm also going to put Whiskey 101 down here.
Oh no, thank.
No, but just for the call out last weekend, because let's face it.
Maybe put ash thank.
Right, what do we have today? Let's have a close up. How are the bubbles? Oh, well, it's pale. It's bubbly. That's looking pretty good, isn't it? I will let deeper.
Oh, it's getting fat.
Oh, hang on. Look at those giant beads. They're not beads. They're.
It better be good.
I'm going to read the chat while you play with that one. Okay, Whiskey 101. Not had batch 6. Okay, you're chatting about other Bowmores. Very good. I must admit, I like the flavour profile of Bowmore. Let me have another smell of that. Ooh. Don't drink it yet. Don't drink it yet because we need to see your expression. And I need to see it. I'm impressed by your Bowmore 18 as well. Bowmore 12 was the bottle that got me hooked on Scotch. Have you tasted? No, okay. But steer clear of Bowmore ever after Whiskey Vault. I can't really get to my mouse to highlight to see where I'm reading for deeper. Whiskey 101. if you're looking at your shelf for 140, you better be thinking by the dram, not the bottle. I know. It's getting a bit like that, isn't it? Legitimately, if you could find Aaron 14, Kilkerran 12.
I like that very much.
Highland Park Dark Origins.
I go for this.
Oh, Flaming Heart.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Flaming Heart is an exact price match to Bowmore
I
18.
but I go for this. Actually, but I prefer the Flaming Heart.
The Flaming Heart bias. There's certainly no lefter bottle than that. Bubbles, wow, looks like ABV. It does. Whiskey Vault, you're getting in on the guesses with the Glenelgin? Right, I think it's time for deeper. It's time for the deeper face-ometer. Off you go. Let's have a taste. Don't give any expression. Nothing at all. Okay, this is Deepa's best poker face coming up. Are you ready? She will give away nothing. I don't know. She looks pretty happy. Are you trying to give away no information?
I'm trying my best.
Is it better than Bowmore?
I'm still absorbing the information. It's very itchy. It's absorbing you.
Okay, shh. Oh, that's not obvious at all, is it?
No. But it gives you the...
Yeah, that's going to take some unraveling.
I cannot base it.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Right. That will be Sunday's experiment. There's a lot of little bottles on the table, all gathered up here. Right, what are we thinking? Might be an Octomore. Springbank. It certainly seems deeper approved. Well, I don't know.
Not sure.
Really not sure what to make of that. Should we try another sip?
Yes.
Well, I would say it's unfamiliar territory.
Oh yes. But is that
Unfamiliar
What is that?
territory.
Oh.
Unfamiliar territory. See? Subtitles are working.
But the finish is the finish of today's finish is better finish.
I think it's on the shelf. Right.
Yeah, because of our dish profile.
So we'll be back on Sunday to find out what Petehead has picked us. 265. Wow, that's a lot that we've got through. Anything else to say? Do I have any other notes? Brad Porter, are you in? It was Brad's first live last week and I missed it in the chat until after. I think that's it. We will see you. Hang on, it's two faces that says we are unlikely to keep the 12 minutes on Sunday. If we did a 12-minute show, you'd be so disappointed. Found Springbank 10, Carl T. And Kilkerran on the shelf on a store in DC. Both were 109. Couldn't do it. The Kilkerran 12 I would do. I wouldn't do the Springbank 10 at that price. If it was Kilkerran heavily peated, no.
No.
Okay, thanks everyone for watching. Another fun show for us. We're going to try quite a few little things after.
I wanted.
I bet you do. Slancha, everyone. See you on Sunday. Thanks again. Yes, see you then. It's great that the hardcore is here to the end. I know we're ticking down on bottles. They're all old. It's not very relevant to shopping today. It's the hardcore that's going to see this project through to the end of the year in the final bottle. Right. See you Sunday.